Hello and welcome to World in 2 Minutes, brought to you by trtworld.com. Let's take a look at this hour's developing stories. Indian High Commission spokesman Tarun Kumar stated India had agreed only to investigate the situation of non-citizens and never agreed to accept the return of any of the 157 Tamil asylum seekers who were not Indian citizens. Australian Immigration Minister Scott Morrison said he had struck a highly unusual agreement with the Indian government under which asylum seekers, most of whom were Sri Lankans who had been living in India, would be able to return to India after discussions with Indian consular officials. A ferry with about 250 passengers on board capsized in Bangladesh in a river southwest of the capital, Dhaka. Mohammed Saiful Hassan Badal, Deputy Commissioner of Munshiang District, said about 100 passengers had been rescued from the vessel after it went down in the Padma River. Low-lying Bangladesh, with extensive inland waterways and slack safety standards, has an appalling record of ferry accidents, with casualties sometimes running into the hundreds. Overcrowding is a common factor in many of the accidents, and each time there's an accident, the government vows to toughen regulations. Human Rights Watch has found that Israeli forces have deliberately killed Palestinian civilians in Gaza, including ones fleeing the conflict. According to a report published on Human Rights Watch, Israeli forces in southern Gaza town of Quza fired on and killed civilians in apparent violation of the laws of war in several incidents between July 23 and 25, 2014. Deliberate attacks on civilians who are not participating in the fighting are war crimes. The Lebanese army stated today that 22 of its soldiers were missing and another 14 had been killed following clashes with ISIS militants on the Syrian border. In a statement, the army said another 86 soldiers had been injured in the fighting in Arsal, where ISIS launched an attack on security forces on Saturday. And with this, we have come to the end of another World in 2 Minutes. For more stories and in-depth analysis, you can visit trtworld.com. Goodbye.